And the efforts of others part is one of the prongs of the Howey test that must be satisfied for the SEC to win. Because that issue is on her mind as one of her top 3 questions in the case, it was kind of fortuitous that just an hour before her denial of the motion to strike, Ripple filed a pleading asking the court to strike a late filed expert report from the SEC. Now, the motion itself is important, but I'm not going to talk about it too much because even more exciting for me was that we got to see the SEC's and Ripple's expert reports, and these reports are on the very issue that the judge is thinking about, whether Ripple affects the price of XRP. Let me just tell you quickly about how expert witnesses work. Basically, when a lawyer needs an expert witness, he or she calls the expert and tells them about the case. Hey John, this is Jeremy. I have this Section 5 violation case. I want to see if you can help me with it. Now the lawyer then tells the expert what he or she wants the expert to say and asks, can you say that? Now the expert then either says, no, sorry Jeremy, I can't say that, or more likely, yeah Jeremy, I can say that, I can come up with something, it's going to cost you this much money. Okay, that's a bit cynical, but very accurate. And you, my fellow Americans, will be unhappy to know that the SEC was told by its expert, yes, I can do that, and it will cost you 6 figures. Because, my lord, the SEC's report is exhaustive and exhausting, and it was very, very expensive. The SEC hired a Dr. Metz, who has a doctorate degree in economics, which makes sense based upon how much money he charged them for this. And let's just take a look at the contents page of the report itself. And as you can see there, the report is 66 pages long, but it's actually much longer than that since there are another 100 pages or so of appendixes and such. Now, I want to give you a little secret about expert witnesses and their reports. And this is how I approach them. And for the most part, lawyers don't really understand what most of their expert witnesses are saying. Have I read all 166 pages of Dr. Metz's report? Heck no. And even if I did, I wouldn't be able to understand it. Now, if I could understand economics and statistics to that level, I'd be a tenured professor at a big university somewhere, wearing a rumpled sports jacket, smoking weed in my office at lunchtime. No, that's not happening because I can't understand it. So instead, here's how I evaluate expert reports. First, I look at the summary, which is probably the only thing me or the judge will ever read, and I ask myself if I can understand what the expert is saying from just the summary alone. That's the question. I need to be able to understand in just a page or two what the expert's opinion is and how he or she arrived at it. If I can understand the expert report in 2 pages, then I believe a judge or jury will believe it and will think the expert is not just kind of blowing smoke up their behinds. It's my 2-page rule. So let's take a look at the SEC's report briefly. Here's what Dr. Metz's report says to be helpful and present the summary of his findings. This is his easy, short summary. Quote, in Figure 1, I present a summary table that illustrates my findings across 20 different regression model specifications, which in varying degrees account for the price movements of digital tokens like Bitcoin and Ether and other variables. I indicate the cases in which the relationship between news and XRP prices is statistically significant. Close quote. I think he kind of lost me at regression model. Did he lose you? But don't worry, he follows that up with a helpful footnote, and here it is, quote, throughout this report, unless otherwise noted, I shall use the phrase statistically significant to refer to model outcomes for which the probability of occurring under the null hypothesis is 5% or less, close quote. Thanks for the clarification, doctor. So that's what I focused on when I looked through this report, and I did understand his conclusion and opinion that the price of XRP correlates to things Ripple does. But I could not figure out how he reached those conclusions. And I think that is the problem for the SEC here because of this. The SEC has the burden of proving that Ripple positively affects the price of XRP. A tie goes to Ripple because the burden's on the SEC. And if this issue of whether Ripple substantially affected the price of XRP so that there was an expectation of profit by purchasers is as important as I think it is, then the SEC absolutely has to knock it out of the park with this report. And well, I'm feeling this report is more of a foul tip. I just can't understand what the guy is saying, and maybe that's just because I'm not that bright, or maybe it's because I'm just a lawyer. I don't know. In any case, thanks for watching, and please enjoy your weekend and the victory from yesterday, and I will see you back at the grind on Monday. Take it away, Denzel.
Never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, Without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it were easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. So, keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So, keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.